Anything in particular that motivated you to get your first tattoo?
Yes, my father and stepfather both had tattoos, and as a little girl I thought I'm going to have one of those someday. And so when I was 40 I had my first tattoo.
Wow, great, great. Would you say some people talk about them being addictive? Do you?
Yes, I was only going to get one.
You're going to get one. How many do you have now?
Well, I started with that one on my ankle, and now I start up my arm and down across the back, and ends up over here on this leg.
Do you get any kind of reactions from people, like your friends, family, general public?
Many people wonder why I got into it, but most people knew me before, so they liked me anyway. And I'm a Southern Baptist. I'm a college graduate. I've been president of BPW. I work with senior nutrition with the elderly. And so they just accept me for what I am, not because of my tattoo.
Do you really see this as an art form?
Oh yes, it's just a living art form. Definitely.
There's almost a spirituality about it, or does even people come to you requesting that, like a spiritual kind of
I have a lot
experience?
of people from like the 12-step programs. Are you familiar with
Very
that?
familiar.
Many people from that that go through that program come, and that's a real spiritual-based program. And they come and they get tattoos concerning their freedoms from addictions and things like that. That's really a big thing.
Sort of, like, yeah, acknowledging their recovery or their spirituality.
Like my design, the one that I love on my arm so much, is a portrait of my grandfather, and he was a Choctaw Indian. So to me, that's a real spiritual type relationship between me and that tattoo. They all mean something. The tattoos that you choose, we spend time with helping people choose their designs. Those tattoos, the meanings are so relationable to the person. It's like they pick out what's going on inside of them and what they think about and what their life is all about, their love, and things like that. So yes, it's a real spiritual thing because you have.
And have you noticed any change in the world of tattoos in England in itself, or?
Just going up and up, more popular every day. It's amazing. It's getting more popular.
Is there any stereotypic kind of person that gets tattoos, or your clients that come in?
No, anything male, female, bank managers, bank clerks, you name it. We're all having tattoos done.
Well, in the mid-60s, and I got a few of them, then I quit, and I started about 6 years ago getting more of them. And I've got quite a few, pretty well covered. I don't know if you see this or not.
So I've noticed you have several that have to do with wildlife and nature. Is there any reason for that?
I like birds and that.
So you started in the 1960s then?
Yeah, I've got a few of them, and then I quit for, I guess, about probably almost 15 years before I got any more.
Wow. So what's the attraction for you?
I just like them.
So would you say they're addicting?
Yes, like eating potato chips.
Can't just have one,
Just
right?
can't have one, yeah. I see you've got a few.
Yes, I do.
Last but not least, I'd like to bring up Mr. Shotzi Gorman. Shotzi is familiar to many members of the press from different magazine articles. He's the publisher and editor of the Tattoo Advocate. He was also one of the people who was recently featured on the Geraldo show. Shotzi?
Thanks, Ace. Thank you, Ace, for having me up. I guess basically after all those good talks and build-ups for the convention, all I have to say is that people should come to realize that tattooing is an art form that's been around for centuries and offers people the opportunity to make statements about themselves without having necessarily had the background education and aesthetic education necessary for most of the other arts. It's an art form for the people. It's a humanist art form, and I think that's something that in our culture is disappearing quickly. We in the United States seem to despise people who want to be individuals and make a statement that is personal. Tattooing offers that to people. It offers them a ritual ability to make transitions in their lives. And I think that if you can look at it with that eye, you'll see past what people have as a common perception of tattooing as being limited to people with specific gang references or subcultural references, and I think that you'll find that tattooing has become an art form which is directly connected to the spiritual development and transitions in people's lives. And there are a great many people here who have spent their lives to perfect their craft and have gone beyond the simple idea of tattooing into what one might call sublime.
It breached a lot of gaps. Back in the old days, it was mostly sailors, bikers that got them. Nowadays, you have doctors, lawyers, and professional people getting them. The yuppies prefer tattoos now because it's a lot safer than sex. It's a big, you know, how would you say, prestige thing to sport a nice piece of artwork. Not an ink mark like this old style. We're talking artwork like this skull here, piece on my shoulder, where you get fine line and detail, brush shade, quarter shade, not traditional broad, thick line, blase, fully colored tattoo. Okay?
Right. I understand with yuppies, they can afford it more. They're special tattoo artists and almost do nothing but them kinds of clients.
True. I have a large clientele of what we call high rollers. It's people that, you know, have the big bucks for the big pieces. Because when you want not animation, but detail, quality, and realization, you got to pay for it.
All right, now what about females? I've read in some news accounts that
85% of my clientele is female.
Right, and that is continuing to grow then? I heard it...
yes, a lot of cosmetic tattoos. We also do burn victims, like in blacks where they get the pink mark, and white people where they would get like birthmarks that are very obvious. We could tone them down by mixing colors the same as you would acrylic paint.
Right. So is that growing too, the market for that?
Yes, very much so. Like some cancer victims that want natural looking eyebrows, and you can't get a line as thin as your eyelashes with conventional eye pencil when they come to professional tattoo artists such as myself and get it done.
So it is your eyebrows and your eyeliner?
That's it. Tattoo.
And this is the cosmetic type now that a lot more women are getting now?
Yeah, it's very popular with women. In fact, this is my tattoo. It's right here, Julie. 2012. Julie Moon.
Okay,
Because a
she's
lot
got
of
all.
Did you have that specially designed, I guess?
She did it.
Is that one of your best pieces? Yeah?
Jonathan had had this as a painting, and they got together and decided to make an even better flesh piece. This is Luke Allister from New York, New York. And he has 27 hours involved under the machine from Mr. Jonathan Shaw from Fun City Tattoos. Right on the back wall. We're in Michigan. Again, Tattoos by Suzanne is over here working. Again, this is Rich Carson, and 3 years. Do you have any idea in hours, Rich? Too many. Too many hours, yes, sir. Richard L. Carson by Suzanne